Hi, everybody. This is another episode of Caregiving 101, and this is the one I like to call Keeping Your Well Full. And joining us today are Adrian Cordero from Vera Health and Rehab, and Rosalie and Bill from Vitas, and Jane from Assisting Hands. And we have a participant this time. Raymond Osborne's also joining us, so welcome, Ray. We're going to speak on I think some different areas that of caregiving that don't always make the cut, and I think they need to make the cut. I think we always think about a lot of other different things, and we've gone through a lot of those over the past 3 weeks. But taking care of ourselves as caregivers so that we can be available to those we love is a really important part of that caregiving. So Adrian, you're going to speak to, could you introduce yourself a little bit and then speak to what you're going to talk about today?
Absolutely. First of all, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. I'm Adrian Cordero. Like Elizabeth said, I'm with Vera Health and Rehab and Rockledge Health and Rehab. I'll speak a little bit about the specialties that we do at those centers just real quickly at the end of my PowerPoint. But to give you a little background on myself, I've been in healthcare for years. My God, all my family's in healthcare. It was kind of the inevitable. But my first love and passion alongside with healthcare is fitness. I am a senior personal trainer, a regular personal trainer, a group fitness exercise certified trainer, as well as a Pilates instructor. And I have my certification in kickboxing. I haven't taught it in a while, but I do it for myself. When you have one of those angry moments, always helps. So, obviously, I'm not a nutritionist in any way, shape, or form. I know what's good and what's bad, and the basics in that sense. But being around fitness and teaching it and learning from it for so many years, 15 plus years, it definitely helps everything, not just your body and feeling toned or good or fitting in those jeans. It's what's really and truly gonna help you succeed in life, because you're actually helping yourself from the inside out, because it just has so many benefits. So that's mainly what I want to focus. So if you're a caregiver or even a patient, such as a senior, maybe you're someone who's just had a hip replacement or a back surgery or things of that nature, I will go over a couple of really easy, simple exercises that you can do to help kind of on the recovery, on the mend side of things. But even if not, this is stuff you can do while you're sitting on the couch watching Family Matters or whatever you want to watch. So that way, you can still feel good about yourself and get some exercise in whenever time allows. So to start off, first of all, we're going to talk about certain healthy foods and what it does to help. So of course, healthy eating, such as fiber, healthy fats, and vitamin E, you can get those to help improve your brain and memory. Something that I love, not only just butternut squash that helps with these types of vitamins and healthy fats, is also the spaghetti squash. That's something I actually do pretty often. I know some people need to dress it up with sauce and pretend like they're noodles. I do like pretending like they're noodles, but all I add is a little salt and pepper, a little bit of EVOO, and a ton of garlic. 'Cause I'm Italian, and that's just a food group for us. And then some artichokes, and then you bake it, and it is so delicious. And that's part of my meal prep also, on a Sunday night to kind of prep for the week. And it's so delicious and easy and healthy, and again gets in that healthy fat and kind of keeps you fuller longer as well. Of course, for healthy eyesight, some vitamin A, you can take that in a capsule or over the counter, but also carrots are really good. I've kind of had bad eyesight my entire life. So as a kid, my mom would tell me that it was good for my eyesight. I would eat carrots like they were going out of style. And now I don't really like them as much because I ate them so much. Of course, to help with teeth, calcium, and of course, not just for calcium for your teeth, but also there's a lot of things out there like for joint health, such as collagen. You can get it in the powder form. I actually mix it with my creamer every morning. And it doesn't taste like anything bad at all. It just, you just mix it with your coffee. And again, that's something that gives you a form of calcium, but also helps improve your hair, skin, your nails, as well as joint health. And that's something that you can't really get from a lot of foods, maybe if you make bone broth, but for the most part, that's easy, something you can add in quick. Obviously, some more things to help with your skin, vitamin A and C. So any dark leafy greens, and of course, my favorite, garlic, like I just said. For any digestive systems and heart health, stick with fiber and magnesium, avocados, nuts, dark chocolate. I actually stick avocado in my smoothies just to make it a little bit creamier. But that also is just a sneaky way to kind of add it in for a little bit of that delicious digestive health. Of course, especially if you are working out, if you do decide to use any weights for weightlifting, you're going to need protein, or even just a casual walk around the block and you just have like those 1 pound weights, again, utilizing protein such as chicken, eggs, soy, things of that nature can really help with that. Now, that's not all the food groups, that's not all the nutrition, but that's some quick and easy ways that you can add some healthy tidbits into your diet. Next, senior focused fitness. Obviously, the goal is help targeting seniors and increase balance, gait, mobility. Obviously, as we age, no matter what age we are, our muscles are going to weaken, we're going to lose mass, and it really and truly is important to try to maintain some of that muscle form. Like I said, it's easy to make time for exercise, even if it's a couple of quick and easy things while you're watching a movie or TV or what have you. Just learning the basics can go a long way. If you're a caregiver also, it probably feels like, how can I ever get that time in, especially if you're completely tired and you're taking care of a loved one. You got to remember though, if you're going to significantly be able to take care of a loved one or somebody in general, you got to take care of yourself too. If that means waking up 30 minutes before you do start your job, or before you're the person that you're caring for wakes up, then do that. I'm not much of a morning person. I do everything at the end of the day. So I actually work out right before dinner time. Again, sometimes it is a busy day and I am really tired, but if I know I have 20 or 30 minutes, then boom, that's all I get. Then that is enough. But again, making you a priority makes you better at caring for somebody else. You got to care for yourself first. Mm-hmm. So just to give you a couple of quick things that are kind of my go-to exercise moves. I'm actually going to scoot back a little bit and show you some of these exercises. I don't know if you can see me or not, but I'll do my best. So first of all, obviously you won't be able to see my heels, but you're just standing up. So say you're standing up in front of your TV. I'm right here by a wall, so I can even hold on to my wall. I'm just lifting my heels off the ground. So naturally, the way that you're going to be able to build some muscle there is on your calf muscles on the bottom of your legs. So simply just lifting off of those back heels, sometimes even holding it. If you do feel like you have a good balance or you want to hold on to the wall, hold it, hold that heel lift and really think. The key to engaging your muscles is, yes, moving, but also thinking about it. So I'm sitting here lifting my heels. I'm engaging my inner thighs. I'm tucking my pelvis, bringing my belly button into my spine. And that is literally taking all of my bottom half of my body and engaging it. I'm also squeezing my booty. So I got everything working all at once just for a simple exercise such as lifting your heels. Okay. Next one, that's easy. And I'd say reps for these, do 20 reps of each. And if you feel like you have more time, do it 2 or 3 times through of 20 reps of each. And the great thing is, if you have some sort of a knee injury, these heel lifts, you can do it while you're seated. I also have anyone remember the like Jane Fonda Thigh Master thing? That is my favorite thing because this is a joke between me and my husband, and if he sees this, he'll probably kill me. But I always tell him I could take him down with my thighs. And so I always just feel like I have really strong legs being in fitness. And so I will use my little Jane Fonda Thigh Master just to scare him a little bit, you know? So, but that's a good one too to do at the end of your day while you're watching TV, just using a little thigh master, or grabbing one of those booty bands, putting it around your legs and just sitting and squeezing. So leg strength is really going to help you, whether you're trying to beat up your husband or if you're just trying to maintain good posture, good gait, good balance, and so on and so forth. Obviously,
what you got to do.
Say again.
I said, you do what you got to do. Adrian.
Exactly. He has good guns. I have good legs. It's just what happens. So obviously the upper body is just as important. So for me, like I'll be very honest. My shoulders are not my go-to. I hate working upper body. It's not my favorite thing. So just simply bringing your arms out and doing tiny little circles, the longer you do it, the more you realize it's working. You're getting into all the tiny fibers. So if you're going to do this and take this with you to do at night, do 20 forward and 20 back. And to add a little extra burn for your shoulders, as well as your upper chest and your upper traps in the back there, hold it for 20 seconds. So 20 forward, 20 back, and hold. That right there, you will feel it so much on the tops of your arms, the tops of your biceps, as well as the tops of your shoulders. Next is hip circles. So yes, obviously, I want, to have really strong legs. I want to have good balance. I want to have a good gait, meaning I'm walking straight and in a well-balanced manner. But hip circles really are key because you're opening up your hips. So yes, you worked your hips, but you got to keep them open. So that way, again, you're really kind of working those joints and lubricating them with all that, breaking up all that lactic acid. So this, of course, you can be sitting and just bring the knee up, back and around, up, back and around. So I'd say do 20 of those on each leg. If you still feel tight in your outer thigh, I'm actually going to move my camera down so you can see this a little bit. While you're seated in a chair, you can take one leg, cross it over the other one. Can you guys see me or no?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so just like this, while you're seated, and keep that foot flexed. And then while you're seated, you lean forward. So meaning you should be able to push the knee out to the side and lean towards that bent leg. Do it on both sides. You are going to feel such an amazing release on the outside of that thigh. Because I know for me, as a woman anyway, but I'm sure I know men do too, you tend to keep tension and stress in your hips. And it's really good to open them up, not just with the hip circles, but a little extra stretch at the end too, okay? So for me, when I think of a chest press, I think of with weights, but I also have a wonderful band. Have any of you guys heard of a TheraBand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so you can get that even at TJ Maxx, Ross, a set of those for all of what, $5 to $7. If you have that on hand, take it. And I always say, again, think of the muscle you're working, you're going to work even more. So again, push out and then in. So that's kind of a chest press. If you do have weights, you have 2-pound weights, do it just like this. Sometimes if you feel like you have it in you, you can lay down on the ground and focus just on, pushing and back. But again, you really need to think engaging the upper back and the back of the traps there, back of the shoulders. So mini squats. If you have any balance issues, do not do this without something to hold on to, or do it even in front of the couch. But again, everyone knows what a squat is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. So, but just keep in mind that you always need to make sure that your knees are not going over your feet. They're staying in line with your ankles, and you're just sitting, acting like you're about to sit down. That's why it's good to do it, right by your couch. Act like you're about to sit down right before you sit, come back up. Again, squeeze down, squeeze that buttocks, and then squeeze it all the way back up. Because again, the way to build that muscle is to think about the muscles you're engaging. Any questions about just that quick little tutorial of exercises?
That was excellent.
Well, good. Try to target everything.
Adrian, that really great that you kind of just, you did upper body, lower body, core exercises. And I absolutely agree. One of the focuses about with fitness is to really take your time and think about the exercise that you're doing.
Absolutely.
And the more you can do that, the more effective it's going to be. So if you've only got 15 minutes, make it worth it.
Absolutely.
If you're doing it too fast and you're not paying attention and you're just going through the motions, it's not going to be as effective as taking that 15 minutes and really working at it.
Absolutely. And plus, it helps you focus on form. Therefore, the more focused on form you are, the less injuries or, mistakes you're going to make along the way. So in turn, really, really just helps everything, all in general. And then, think about it. Anytime you've ever worked out in any way, shape, or form, whether it's just taking a walk or whatever, when you were done, did you ever regret it?
No.
You'll never regret a workout.
I felt energized.
Say again, Jane?
Rosalie, it felt energized.
Exactly. You always feel energized. That's another wonderful thing for anybody who's a caregiver or the patient themselves. That in fact gives you the energy in order to care for someone else, in order to do the things that you want to do. I get that a lot of times, even from my very close friends. Oh, how do you have time for this? Or, how do you have the energy for this after working, 8-10 hours a day? It gives me the energy to do it again the next day. You know what I mean? So it makes all the difference in the world.
Thank you, Adrian.
So, obviously, I think I kind of just said that, but the last little paragraph here, if exercising isn't enough and you have other mental health, kind of things that are really getting in the way, believe me, exercise sometimes can't help all of that, get it all out. So start a journal, drink more water, get enough sleep. I always say laughter is the best medicine. It truly, truly is. If you really feel like you need to talk to someone, go to therapy. I've gone to therapy several times. There should never be a stigma around your health, whether it's physical or mental. And I always say, again, just taking care of all of it, it really does help. I mean, we're always a work in progress, right?
Absolutely.
We're never going to be perfect. So there's no shame in that game. And like I said in the beginning, now that I've spoken a little bit on the fitness and how to take care of yourself a bit, what we do at Vieira Health and Rehab and Rockledge Health and Rehab is, if you just kind of fall upon hard times for yourself or a loved one, if they've had a stroke or a cardiac surgery or a hip or a knee surgery or a fracture of any kind, basically any ailment that you're in the hospital for, that you feel needs very individualized physical and occupational type therapy, which is physical therapy is kind of like the fitness program I just went through, but like on steroids. So it's like every day of the week almost. And the goal is, to try to get you just healed and a lot more balance and gait and strength, so that way you can get home safely. The occupational aspect of what we do at both centers is more the eye-hand coordination. So again, kind of the brain therapy, kind of getting you back over there. And on top of the mental health, just so you know, at both of our centers, we have phenomenal activities directors that really think it through, think about each activity. Not only is it fun, but it's also engaging, and it has to do with why you're with us. So you can be having fun, but we're really duping you into more therapy, but for your own good. So that's kind of it on Vieira and Rockledge rehabs. And I will say that we take almost all HMO plans, except for maybe like Humana and Cigna. But other than that, we take everything from Medicare to Care Plus and all that. So your stay with us is typically paid for.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to connect you over to,
Rosalie and Bill.
let's see if I can figure it out.
I keep saying I need a
Yeah, I
14-year-old
think you have
boy.
to close first. You'll have to close your screen first. Stop
Okay.
sharing.
No,
think-
yeah. All right. There we go. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to make Rosalie the host.
Got it.
There you go.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey,
There we go.
thank you, Adrian. That was wonderful. Very
Rosalie?
Rosalie.
Very well done,
Bill,
Adrian.
would
Thank
like
you.
to-
Thank
Would you like
you.
to give us a little bit of an introduction to yourselves and talk about what you're going to talk about today?
All right. Well, my name is Bill Owens. I'm a clinical chaplain with Vitas here in Brevard County, and I have the pleasure of working with Rosalie as a coworker. And we're going to talk about the resilient part of being a caregiver and some of the resources available as you journey forward. Rosalie, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Rosalie Norman McNaney, and I'm, as Bill said, I'm one of the chaplains and have been with the Vitas. This is the 10th year of serving with them and doing caregivers as well as grief support groups, as well as Bill serving at families and patients. So I'm glad to be able to be here today. Thank you.
And as we look at things and begin to talk about it, there's a word that I was introduced to years ago called resilience. And we tend to think of ourselves as people who are either successful or failing at something, when in fact, as you are a caregiver, it's important to think of yourself as a resilient person. And that word, in the way I'm using it today, means you have the ability to bounce back. You're going to find ups and downs. You're going to find all sorts of things that confront you, sometimes predictable, sometimes unexpected. And to be able to bounce back from what's in front of you is a very real skill that you want to develop. As we think about the stress of caregiving and all the things that are there are all kinds of things that contribute to it. One of the things that I often hear people feel bad about is they feel like they're just not doing enough. There's all this stuff that they're already doing, but they feel like they should be doing more, and they put that kind of pressure on themselves. They sometimes wonder if they're contributing to the person's sort of decline, because they don't know exactly what to do in the face of every episode that comes up, in the face of everything that is presented. Some of them are regretting things that they have done and wish that they had done them better. There are all these kinds of things that add stress to caregiving. And one of the things that's important to know is that caregiving is not about focusing on the past. It's about focusing on what you can do now. And it is a very real dynamic learning experience. You will do caregiving different tomorrow than you did it today, because you have a whole new set of experience and abilities to work with it. That having been said, though, you're going to get tired. You're going to get worn out. You're going to get fatigued. You're going to get times when emotionally you are up and down, times that you're frustrated with the person that you're caring for. Sometimes when you're resenting some of the demands that have been put on you. I can tell you from personal experience of caring for a lot of families, my own family included, being frustrated with the fact that you're the person who's doing the primary caregiving and the other family doesn't seem to be involved at all. And you begin to get worried and frustrated by that it's all fallen on me. Why does it all fall on me? I'm all alone here. Nobody understands what I'm going through. And everybody goes through it uniquely. You're right. Nobody fully understands what you're going through.
So Bill and Rosalie, I'd like you guys to speak to caregiving, formal caregiving support groups, and how that's and how that can interface with that world of caregiving. What does a caregiving support group bring to the table?
Well, as you're dealing with all of those feelings that we're talking about, and you sometimes feel like that there's no hope for you, what I want to encourage you to do is to reach out. And one of the ways that you can do that, one of the things that's available to you are support groups. And some people have hesitance about that, but there's a lot of reasons to be a part of a support group. One of those reasons is to find people who do understand, as I was getting ready to say, what you're going through
Right.
and what you're finding. Other things that you've got are you get involved with a support group and all of a sudden you hear things that you didn't even know about or that you weren't even aware of, and you can prepare for what's coming. Support groups aren't always therapy groups, though there are therapy groups, and there are groups that help you process what you're going through. So as you think about all of these stressors and how to deal with them, Rosalie's got some suggestions and some encouragement for different types of groups that you might want to connect with. So Rosalie?
Thank you, Bill. And I'm going to share my screen and hope I do this well, okay? And desktop. And please tell me if it,
There you go.
okay. No, that's one of them, but that's not the one I want. You see? You see, that happens. Okay. We're there. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the, with VITAS, one of the, as many of the hospices, but you have a team that works with you. And, you know, my mother was with VITAS in Pennsylvania. So that was part of my commitment in working down here. And my sister, my husband and I, we had, I think there's a book, she had Alzheimer's. I think there's a 37-hour day. And there were 3 of us in the house with, and the only thing that we could, where we'd get her to relax was to take her for ice cream in Pennsylvania. So, you know, we ate a lot of ice cream and really needed to get some help. So one of the, with VITAS, there's the social worker and the chaplain, and that Bill and I, we work, you know, interdisciplinary. We also work with the nurse and everyone, and we offer the caregiver workshops. And to go, and first of all, to find time. And this is COVID right now. Many people, we want connection, and they may not want to come out. But even if we're watching something online or having a buddy system with someone they may meet, that may help people to be encouraged. So what I'm showing you here, and I'm hoping, okay. So we have those local groups, which I'm going to share a listing of. And during those groups, you have a chance to meet with other people and to share with different topics. What this is, and if we have many online, or you can find out about what we're offering. And you may say, oh, I don't know the computer, I don't want to go on. Well, this is what it looks like when you open up the link. And as you can see, there's a whole thing here on caregiving, caregiving support, caregiving basics, providing caregiver life balance, first-time caregivers. And I'm just going to open that up so we'll see what's there and what's available for you. Opening. It's the page I had. And it talks about you can register for, so you're able to go on and register for a group, or you can call our office, and I have the person's name. I'm going to show you another screen with that. And you can have a chance to learn about how the support that you can get, even if the person's in the nursing home, or when the person, or at your home, you're still a caregiver. And that's the thing. Some people will say, well, my loved one's in a nursing home, and you're still responsible. You're still going over there every day as often as possible. You're still making sure their laundry is done, that somebody's with them. So those are you're still providing for that person. And caregiver life balance, part of coming to a workshop, to a caregiver support group, I feel that's a way to honor ourselves as well as to honor our loved one. Because if we can't, it's like on the plane, if you don't put on, first your own mask, you can't support the other person. And it does mean, as it says here, The group can help you acquire new skills. It can help you educate. It can help you take care of self. And I love what Adrian shared as well as the things nutritionally, because sometimes people are not eating. They're making sure their loved one's eating. And by the time they get done, there's just like, I'll just have nothing or just a quick snack. So we want to help people through caregiving to come and hear about things. So as it says here, it can be in a private residence, assisted living community, nursing home. And there is the number to call VITAS, 855-403-3738. And I'll show that again. Now, some of the other things we have, I'm going to close this one. And I want your support that I do this correctly, okay? All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Okay, here's a list of upcoming groups that are starting in February, so it's right on time. And we've had them here before, but these are the new schedules with new facilitators. Joe's Club, and that's out in Miko. So and we've been out there. We've even had sessions at the library out there. So right now, just know, and you can get a copy of this on second Tuesday of each month, 1 to 2. They'll be at the Joe's Club. At the Brennedy in Melbourne, on the second Thursday of each month, we will 10 to 11, there'll be a session. One Senior Place is the second and fourth Thursday. I actually used to have that group years ago. And it's a wonderful group, a good location and very supportive. Here's the number to respond to if you're interested in these numbers. Ruth Little, who's the support person with Martin Concepcion, who's our bereavement manager and covers caregiving. The number is 321-752-2533. Now, the other part I want to show you, when somebody comes in, there's other resources. Here's one of our books, A Guide for Caregivers. That's a picture of it. And it builds, just as Bill was saying, build resilience as you recover from setbacks, learn to adapt, and persist in the face of adversity. This is a very helpful book with questions. You mentioned journaling, Adrian. This offers an opportunity to journal about what someone is doing. I encourage people to journal, to share, to paint, whatever their way of expression. And the other part of this is that this is what's important. Just like the caregiving, we have to look at every part of us, physically, socially, emotionally, cognitively, because we have to think and handle papers, and we're representing and keeping track of medications, as well as schedules, as well as spiritually, whatever that means. And right now, so it's layers of aspects of ourselves that affects every part of us. So how do we keep the balance? One of the other books that we give everybody comes, it's called Making the Most of the Time We Have. So, and caring for the loved one at life's end. Now, we give this to the past. Usually and Bill can share with this, that people come in to VITAS or different hospices because they want help. They want help. They're not looking that their loved one is terminal. We're not using the terms terminal or imminent, but they want somebody to help bathe, somebody to help prepare a meal. These are basic things, someone else just to give them a breather. Right now with COVID, there was a time we had more volunteers, our volunteer department, or from the veterans. If somebody was a veteran, we could get volunteers. So there are other people that could come in to help. And right now that's a little different, but yet you can, to have somebody come and sit even for an hour. And I've done that. I know Bill has done that. We've gone to families who just needed a chance to breathe, respite. So how do we do that? The next, there's another book I have there, and I don't know if it's showing up, but it's called, I'll go into the other one. I'll just put up here. it's making hard choices for loving people. Okay. Bill, you want to say something about this one?
Making hard choices for loving people is a wonderful resource as you are considering advanced directives and you're looking ahead to decisions that you need to make. Very often when we're sitting with people and they tell you about it immediately, a lot of things are put out on the table and it can be confusing. This resource is an excellent resource to help you go through it at your own pace and then gives you background into the decisions that you might be making. So I highly recommend it. I use this one a lot with families and individuals. So it's a good resource, Rosalie. Thanks for presenting it.
So those are the ones we have. And once again, those numbers are there. I can go back to that. That, well, I'll need to, but I can make sure that they're there, or this information is there at the Sunflower House. And main thing is finding balance and to know that you're worth it. And that's really key, to feel valued. And it's a major responsibility, and to carve out those times and to have someone, I call them the caregiver's coach. Find somebody to say that support group can be that, but find someone, whether it's at the team, which we do as members of VITAS, we encourage our families, ask, how are you taking care of yourself? You sit with a family member and that you'll hear a lot. You'll hear, that's the question. So thank you. I hope this is helpful, and I'll make sure that this is available there at Sunflower House.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank you for the time.
Rosalie, if you'd like to make me host now.
Yes, I
And
will.
then
Okay.
Jane, thank you for being patient. And Jane, can you introduce yourself? And I think Jane's going to speak a little bit about, well, just overall, right? The stresses and that we can have when we're caregiving. Jane.
Thank you. Thank you, Adrian, Rosalie, and Bill. Appreciate that. And I'll probably reiterate a bit of what you all have said. I'm Jane Peach. I'm a clinical social worker. I'm working with Assistance Home Care as a care manager. We provide in-home care and in assisted living and skilled nursing facilities, CNAs and HHAs, to support families and individuals who choose to remain in their own home. And also we've been supplemental care and rehab and assisted living facilities. So it's just, I'm always amazed and impressed with the connection our caregivers make with families and how supported the families and individuals feel. I will be referring to my handout, which I don't have to put up, but it's basically talking, as Beth said, about self-care. I'm just a definition of burnout, which is a term we've heard for decades, whether it's a professional or a family member, is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. So the physical is, what Adrian mentioned is you'll take those emotions and you hold them in your body. And that can threaten your health and well-being eventually without a resolve or addressing that stress. And as Bill said, you may mentally feel like you're not doing enough, that there's more that you could be doing, or trying to problem solve on a daily basis in addition to other responsibilities. So there's so many facets to that term burnout that we've heard for all these years. The warning signs aren't always most of the time aren't even recognized by folks. Sleep deprivation can catch up with us. Generalized fatigue. Someone will say, I'm good, but I'm tired all the time. And yet when they go to bed, they can't sleep. Loss of motivation, turning friends down to do things they used to do. Um, uh, and also feeling like everything they do is magnified. Um, Another piece that, you know, I've experienced as a caregiver is a decreased patience or tolerance around your job, your friends, your church community, and again, the loved one you're caring for. The tension may be, and the extreme stress will be making errors where you normally didn't in life, whether that's throwing out a bill you're supposed to have put in the mail, but you threw it in the garbage, locking your keys in the car. There's small little signs, and we'll kind of just play that off as, oh, I'm busy, you know, but it really is an indicator to stop and pay attention and explore what's going on. Overwhelmed, again, we've all talked about that. Everything feels too much, and feeling alone, even though there are folks and resources, as Rosalie talked about, so many different things in this community in particular. You still feel alone. And again, because you tend to maybe be isolating yourself around your loved one's health issues. So some of the things that we can develop, and we call it a plan of care, is be more compassionate with yourself. Stop, pay attention, listen to what other people are sharing with you. And then maybe set some limits and boundaries. Folks will say, you know, I know you're really busy with your mom, but could you, whatever. Being okay with saying no, and self-compassion. Taking time for yourself, whether it's that 30-minute exercise, you know, doing those. I've done those heel lifts ever since you showed them to me. And I can do that talking to a friend or cooking dinner or brushing my teeth. So thank you for that. Changing your perspective is changing your self-talk. So at the end of the day, when again, you're not feeling like you're doing enough, or just feeling no one's around to help me, again, look at the self-talk and reframe it if possible. And that may be the use of the journaling, is to look, what are the thoughts that are popping up for me that are keeping me awake or irritable? And ask for help. What would you want a friend to do or your sibling to do if they were in that situation? You may not even know what you need someone to do. So make a list. What would be helpful the next time you get a phone call and someone says, how are you? Can I do anything? And instead of saying, no, I'm fine, everything's great, have that available and say, you know what, there is one thing, if you're available and can do that for me. So really define what you need. Again, most of us don't even know when we're multitasking around the care of a loved one. The tools are very similar to what Adrienne mentioned, is maintain a routine. Whatever you do when you get up in the morning, keep doing that. Just maintain a routine so you don't feel scattered. That sets the tone for your day. It may be, I love the gratitude piece. Before you get out of bed, stretch and say 3 or 4 things that you're grateful for. So again, no matter what that routine is, try to maintain it. Because the rest of the day, we know how that goes if you're caring for a loved one. It's unpredictable. Emotional exercises, again, are reading for fun, watching a dog and cat video. I mean, things that, you know, put a smile on your face. Mental exercises, sometimes you just need to decompress with that one game on the, you know, give yourself 10 minutes to play that one game on your phone. Other forms of a distraction that are helpful in healing is just being still for a little bit, whether that's through prayer or meditation, or I'm sitting here looking at my bird feeder, and it's been a wonderful view the whole time I've been with you. So, you know, have things that give you pleasure. mix it up, enjoy it, exercise, cooking, something very simple, but what you said, that's what a treat. It just, your palate gets another treat. So those are some of the things you can do in addition to find that therapist, find that friend, talk to that minister at your church, find out who's providing support group, really connect on all those levels. So again, appreciate all of you and what you do for so many. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. I think that one of the things, Jane, that that always comes to mind when I listen to you speak, and is that idea of gathering people around you. And I think everybody kind of spoke to that a little bit today, Rosalie and Ray and Jane and Adrian, about making sure that you've got your team around you, just like you want to have that team around that person that you love.
Mhm.
No, that's an extra circle. Raymond, do you have any questions? I'm glad you could join us. Raymond, tell me a little bit about yourself. We've talked a little bit, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I was just laughing because I'm watching a bird feeder too, and there's this big, beautiful cardinal out there. So,
Oh,
so the birds really give joy to my life, really quite a bit. And I'm interested in caregiving from two perspectives, personal and a professional. And everybody remembers Mickey Mantle at all? It's one of my favorite quotes. But he said, "If I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself." So I'm always interested in ways that we can stay fit and take better care of ourselves. Now, I wish I had done it earlier. I'm a former smoker. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes back in 1996, but I quit. And I only wish I had quit a little earlier because I can see the effects now. But never mind, you learn, live and learn. And so I enjoyed like developing a exercise regimen. I love exercise. You know, it used to be like at one point you think, oh no, not more exercise. Oh no. But now it's
They
like,
all say that at first.
hey, you know, it's like, oh wow, let's go out for a morning walk on the beach, you know, and I clear out some clutter at the same time, you know, so I feel like I'm offering something to the community. I'm involved in the veteran community quite a bit. And, you know, I'm really saddened to see a lot of veterans like taking their lives, you know, and I'm thinking it could be all be preventable, you know, with good health and good thinking and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to encourage veterans to get more involved in fitness and outdoor activities like kayaking, things of that nature. And I'm also involved in helping promote the mayoral fitness challenge. And, you know, I spoke to the leader there about what we're doing about seniors, you know, and so we're pushing towards that to get more activities for seniors, you know, and we're always interested in ideas. I have a poll over the social media group. I'm really big into social media. And if you've been to the group for the Sunflower House, is what kind of outdoor activities do you enjoy? And there's things like, or exercise, I should say, how do you stay fit? And one is very popular is Tai Chi. My dad's 92 years old and he does Tai Chi. And they had a big celebration of his 92nd birthday. And he was real pleased to punch about that. And it goes into a personal, spiritual perspective too. And I thought it was very helpful because it helps improve one's balance. And I've noticed myself losing my balance at times. So I used to enjoy bicycle riding, but my primary care physician suggested, you know, what happens if I lost my balance on a bicycle? It could be pretty bad. You know, I might lose a kidney. I only have one to spare. So, you know, so that's going to be watchful on that. So I thought that maybe Tai Chi might be helpful for that. But I'm also just other things too. I did some research and I hear Zumba Gold is quite popular among seniors. And so we're getting some hopefully get some good lectures and instructors together for our event plan with the Mayoral Fitness Challenge. And I do have a professional interest too. I'm a licensed health insurance agent. So I was able to help one of my clients is also my significant other. She's gone through heart surgery. And so I'm also her healthcare advocate. And so I'm learning a lot about that, being able to communicate with doctors, making sure they get all the medical health medical records together and they're making wise choices, smart decisions and stuff like that. Keep an eye on that. But also go into, I'm reading a book on depression and how we need to look at the signposts or the symptoms or the telltale signs of depression and how it can lead to suicide. And of course, we've had a lot of suicide in the veteran community. So that's something else that needs addressing. And I wanted to learn a lot more about. And I heard a lot of things, people talking today about, how people are sad and I'm just thinking there goes depression. There's some more signs of depression there. And I think just simple things like saying a bird feeder is a great idea because you see a cardinal, it brings joy to you, it snaps you out of this mode that things are not working out right, and they are working out right. So I like that too. So I look forward to all your sessions. So thank you for inviting me here today, Beth. And
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Raymond.
anything I can do to help, let me know. Okay.
Well, and just as long as, Raymond mentioned, we're going to be doing the mayoral fitness challenge here at Sunflower House on the 26th, and we're going to hopefully have some different groups. So please feel free to join us that Saturday morning or Saturday during. I'm not sure we've got the actual times worked out yet. I think mostly mid part of the day was when Keith was talking. So appreciate everybody coming in today and helping out. And I really think that this session of the 4 sessions is always one of my favorites because it really does take us, and brings us grounds us back in how it is that we can really speak to some of the actual challenges of caregiving. When we first start to caregive, I'm pretty sure everybody's worried about, well, do we have the right toilet seat and do we have the right person coming in or the right all of the things that we're worried about, the right doctors and the right appointments and these things, and then everything else can we can lose ourselves in that. So to understand that it's a marathon, generally it's not a sprint. Those days of marathon caregiving for me went away when my kids got married and I didn't have to worry about colds and ear infections and 3 a.m. upset tummies. Those were sprint caregiving days where it was a day or two and it was over with. Caregiving now at this point with my loved ones is a marathon. We're not talking days, we're talking weeks and months and years. So we need to treat ourselves with a little grace and understanding. And I appreciate everybody being here today to talk about it with us. So I thank you all very much, and hopefully we'll be able, if people will join us back. I suggest I will please put it in your notebook. We'll be doing all 4 sessions again in July, and hopefully we'll see you back again, and you and I will talk more on the 26th, and we will be back again, like I said, in July for another series. Thanks again, folks.
Thank you, Beth, and very much.
Thank you for having me.
And what
Take
day,
care, you guys.
what day is the mayoral? When is that at Sunflower House?
The 26th of March.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant like tomorrow. I was
No. 26th of
All gonna
March,
show
I'm
up.
sorry. I didn't mention March. Yeah, no.
Maybe we can talk about ways to plan, because I think that's a great opportunity to give some ideas.
Absolutely. And if you need me to teach a senior-based class, I'd be happy to.
Well, I might put you in touch with Keith, Adrian.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
From the United Way, who's looking for somebody to help with some things. So,
Okay, sure
I
thing.
thank you
I'm here
very
for
much.
whatever.
Thank you. It was wonderful meeting everybody, and
Nice meeting you.
a lot of wonderful resources. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You too, hon. Bye,
Have a
you
great
guys.
day. Bye-bye.